When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.
Hey guys, in this episode we leave Kalgoorlie and we head down to Margaret River for a week or so to escape the WA heatwave before we have to turn tail and go back to Perth for some medical tests for Oz. But we'll tell you a bit more about that later in the episode. In the meantime, let's hit the road.
See, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Today it's not our salty life, it's our life in the furnace. Woo! WA has turned it on for us today. We're cracking a 43. We've run away from Kalgoorlie because that was smashed out at 46 in the shade. And we're running to the towards Perth, and we're still getting smashed.
3,423 kilometres, honey, in 8 days. We've got on the last 44 kilometres now. I think today has probably been the most challenging drive.
This has been the toughest. I think it's actually been one of our toughest drives ever, actually towing. We're in at least 25 knot winds, and they are dead cross shore on us. And they're northerly, and we're heading west, and we are copping a battering, and it's also 43 degrees ambient temperature outside.
Yeah.
I've pulled myself back to 80. I speed up as often as I can to get as many trucks and as many cars around us, so that we're not impeding anybody. But she's a dangerous day.
Yeah.
A dangerous day. So I'm looking forward to the next half an hour being off the road.
So we've done 3,423 Ks since leaving home 8 days ago. This completes our crossing of the country, and now it's going to be all about enjoying our journey of exploring the coastline up and down the WA coast for the rest of this year. So can't wait to share that with you. We made our way to our friends Pete and Taylor's house, where we were able to connect to some power and run our aircon at night, which at least gave us some relief from the heat. And it was great to see those guys too, of course. Hungry, thirsty, tired?
Hungry, thirsty, very tired.
Wine tasting at 3:30 every day for campers.
Been a big day, but wine tasting will make it better.
Let's go get set up. Definitely camped amongst the grapevines. However, you're also amongst the trees, which means from a solar perspective, we're going to struggle. So luckily we have the solar blanket that we'll put out because we'll be fully charged now. It's not that wide, so we've parked a little bit off the trees just to try and maximise how much solar we get in. But it means we can't put our awning all the way out so that cars can get past us.
It's one of the things to really bear in mind, even if you've had your bearings serviced by a pro, is that to do a check afterwards. So even after any type of service, I always like to check my wheel nuts just to make sure that somebody hasn't forgotten it during the bump and grind of a busy workshop. But after you've done your wheel bearings, which I've already done, I now want to check that I've got no free play and that the wheel still is not bound. But more importantly than anything else is that the coupling and the bearing on the stub hasn't come loose. So I'd suggest around about 1,000 Ks after you've done it is to jack the wheel up, check with no load of the van on it that you've got no play. If you've got no play, you're fine. One of my wheels on the other side had a fraction bit of play, so what I did was loosen, take out the split pin, slightly tighten the capture nut, recheck my wheel that it's still nice and free. You can hear a little bit of noise, that's just the brake caliper, and then put everything back together. So it's really important that you might have had it done, but to do a check at the 1000k mark.
Stunning is the coastline in WA. Honestly, the southwest, Margaret River, the beaches around Gracetown and Prevelly are just incredible.
Come take my hand, I will walk with you. I won't let go till you say so. There isn't anything I wouldn't do. Wanna make sure that you understand. You're the one who gives my life color. There is no one other. With your hand in mine, let me go by your side. Let me go by your side. I wanna stay in your sunlight.
We pulled in at an old favourite of ours, Swings and Roundabouts, for a bite to eat. We had a fantastic wood-fired pizza, a great bottle of wine, and the best part of this place is that it's dog-friendly.
I can't believe someone like me is here with somebody like you. There's something about you and I know why. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's in your smile and in your feet. It's high and low and in between. And I am glad to let you know, but only if you give me a kiss. Yeah, it's no secret at all. It's so obvious to all of us.
This is going to be one of those Instagram versus reality moments where we've driven for half an hour to come to this beautiful natural spa, and we've got down here and the car park is so packed. We've also realised it's in a national park, so Oz can't get out of the car, so we're taking it one at a time to go and have a look. I'll show you how busy it is. So there are people everywhere. It's so not the experience I thought we were going to have today. But you know what? There's so many people out here doing what we're doing that you just have to push through and go and see these places and imagine what they would look like without all the people. Otherwise, you just never get there. You'd never see anything if you waited for serenity. But look at that and how beautiful that looks. This is Canal rocks where they've built some boardwalks or footbridges across the naturally formed canals so that you can have an easy access walk. It's really quite beautiful. Leaving Jarvis Estate this morning and heading to Perth. We're going to camp up at a friend's place. Some people that we met at Winery Station last year that kindly offered for us to camp on their nature strip when we come to Perth. So that's what we're going to do. We have some vet appointments in Perth. Unfortunately, Oz is not very well and we need to get some tests done to work out what's going on for him. So it's been a stressful few days here in Margaret River. We've been to the Margaret River vets and just trying to manage Oz's symptoms for him, poor little puppa. So we will get our diagnosis properly on Monday next week. But for today, it's a travel day leaving Jarvis Estate. Hey guys, so what's going on with Oz? Didn't mean to be cryptic. I hate it when people do that. But what was happening with Oz when we were recording this video was pretty distressing, and it was evolving day by day. At the time we were videoing, we didn't have any answers, which is not to say that we have answers now, but we probably know a little bit more. So, you know, Oz is a huge part of our family and a huge part of our story. And part of our channel is about sharing with you what life on the road is like when you're traveling with a dog. And so I thought long and hard about it and decided that I needed to include this in this video because this is the warts and all experience of traveling with a fur baby and what can happen. Where we left you is that we went to the vet in Kalgoorlie because Oz had developed a cyst on his leg and it had come up really fast and he was licking it. So the vet aspirated it, did a fine needle aspiration and said that it looked like it was just a benign cyst and not to worry about it. His appetite had been a bit funny and she said that was probably due to the extreme heat or because we were traveling, we'd just left home, a lot of upheaval, so a lot of new things for him and just to watch it. So we were pretty relieved with that. We headed off, went to our friends Pete and Taylor's house, and while we were there we noticed that his bowel movements weren't normal and he was off his food. Like, I had to really entice him to eat, and that's something really unusual for Oz because he's normally a guts. He was starting to get lethargic, and then we got to Margaret River, and when we were there he started vomiting as well. So every time he would eat, he'd then go and eat grass and he'd vomit. He'd started lying down to drink out of his water bowl and to eat as well. So I said that enough's enough, he's not actually getting better, and I then found a second cyst on his back leg. So we took him to the Margaret River Animal Hospital, who were terrific. They did a series of blood tests, and the blood tests showed that his liver markers were really high. They felt that the sickness symptoms and his lethargy and loss of appetite wasn't to do with his liver, that they were coincidental. So we started giving him just a gentle diet to try and fix up his tummy, but they referred us to an animal hospital in Perth, so to have ultrasounds and then ultimately a CAT scan, a CT scan of Oz's abdomen. That was at Animalius in Perth, and they have been fantastic. At Animalius, they found that he had some stomach ulcers, which were most likely caused by prolonged use of meloxicam, which he's been taking on and off now for about 3 years for a shoulder injury. And so they suggested that we stop the meloxicam, treat his stomach ulcers with some other medication and see how he went with that. So we've done that, and I'm pleased to say that all of his tummy symptoms have resolved themselves. He's back to normal, eating, pooing, and happy as he always was before. So lots of energy, which is so good to see. Unfortunately, what the tests also showed though were some markers on his liver, some lesions on his liver and some lesions on his spleen, which they believe to be cancer at this stage. So that's been the really distressing part. We still don't know what type of cancer it is and whether there's any treatment for it, or what the treatment is, or what the prognosis is. We're in a holding pattern for another 2 weeks while they do some further pathology on his biopsies that they took to try and work out what is actually going on in there and what's the best thing to do for him at the moment. But the good thing is that he's happy, he's bright, he's being his normal self, and it's really good to see. The other thing, the lesions that were on his front leg and back leg have now completely disappeared. The vet felt that it could have been that in doing the biopsy it made them angry, and that triggered his immune system to do something. We don't know whether that's a good thing, a bad thing, got nothing to do with it. So again, we're just kind of waiting the results of the tests that were taken to see exactly what these lesions were, which should give us then some clues as to what's going on with the liver and the spleen. So that's the story of what's going on with Oz. Thank God we have pet insurance, because so far the vet bills have been in the thousands. Luckily, we've been able to get 80% back from our pet insurer for these tests, and this is before we've even started any treatment for the poor little fella. So we'll keep you posted, but that's what's going on with Oz. Thanks for all the messages that we've had from people asking what's going on and hoping that he's okay. We hope he's okay too. It's really, really a shitty situation, but we have to deal with it. So this is life on the road. Up and parked the caravan on the nature strip at our friend Shannon and Al's house, walked up the hill just a few steps, and look at that, Scarborough Beach in Perth. What a spot! How beautiful is it? Just a short walk from Al and Shannon's house is this dog-friendly off-lead beach. So we've driven like hundreds of kilometres in the southwest, not being able to find a dog beach, and here's one within walking distance. That's what we like. This sand is so bloody hot. It's burning my feet with my thongs on. I do not know how Oz is doing it. Daz has got his runners on, but it's hot.
I'm gonna dance by myself like nobody's watching. Don't really care if my rhythm's off, 'cause I'm gonna dance like nobody's watching me. I'm gonna dance.
While we were in Scarborough, we went and checked out the sunset with our mates Shannon and Al, and we went down to the Scarborough Beach Festival for a night of food trucks and entertainment. Great vibe, guys.
I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, 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 dance. I'm gonna dance, dance, dance like nobody's watching me. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance.
the end of this episode, guys. We hope that you've enjoyed it. We'll bring you some more info on what's going on with Oz in future episodes. Please subscribe, tell us what you think, and in the meantime, stay salty.
Took a trip out to the sun to